Scrappy friends, it's Melinda and welcome to my channel today. You've probably noticed that I've been participating in the Kraft Challenges for the last couple of months if you've been following my channel. And this month the challenge is to do anything but a square or rectangle photo. I was really super inspired by that challenge, and you probably noticed as well that I've been doing some pages for my wedding album recently. Just so that you're aware, we did get married in 2008, so it has been a long time in the making. And I have done a few layouts here and there, and this is actually one of them. But I don't love it. I do remember making it, and I remember it was a struggle, and I remember at the time thinking, I don't know if I like it. So I've decided that I'm going to redo this. I'm going to obviously do it on a craft background if I'm participating in the Craft Plus challenges. I've taken these same 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 photos, and I've reprinted them all. There's 3 in colour and 4 in black and white, I think. Yes, 3 in colour, 4 in black and white, and I've printed them all out and I've cut them down into circles. So you can see here, this is the idea I've come up with. I have traced around the outside because if you've been watching my channel, you know I've been doing lots of mixed media lately. And so I've come up with this circular design down the side of all of those same photos, all different sizes. I've used my Big Shot and some dies obviously to cut them down. I said to my husband, should I do pink or not? He goes, you know what, babe, with the 2 boys you don't often get a chance to use a lot of pink, so just do it. So it's going to be, I think, another pink layout. I have pulled out some stuff. I do have a big box full of wedding stuff. They're not necessarily wedding theme supplies, but they're what I pulled out for my wedding kit. So I pulled a few bits and pieces from that to put this together. So all of these bits are from that kit. And then I pulled out a few flair as well. One says hello gorgeous, one's a text. That's my little person. He's just come in to say hi. Apparently the poor thing's starving. Hang on a minute, mate. So I've pulled out some flair, and I've pulled out some of these butterflies that I'm pretty sure I'll fussy cut. And I've also got these, which I've punched from beautiful gold glittered cardstock. So there's some circles, some part circles, and some love hearts. I do have more of this so I can cut more tiny circles or hearts or big ones or whatever. I'm not really sure where this page is going. I was going to run with the same title on the other page, but I didn't have the right letters. So I've gone with, and you probably can't read it, but it says piece by piece, which I think to start with, I'm loving that title a bit more. So I'm going to pop all this back in, as I'm sure you just heard my little boy. He's hungry, so I'm going to stop this and I will come back and I will do some scrapbooking after I have fed him some lunch. So I'm back and I am just quickly showing you that I'm using my colour shimmer pots once again by Colour Blast. Again, I'm using the beautiful blush colour. I just love this colour. I love this product. It's beautiful to work with. So what I've done is I have just activated that, started the activation process by adding a little bit of water and popping that to the side. So as I mentioned before, I had put an outline of where my photos were going to go, and I'm just using some white gesso, also by Colour Blast, heavy white gesso, to apply a white haze across, so it's behind where my photos are. I just use my fingers to rub that in, and I've cut most of that out because you don't need to watch it. It's not that exciting. So my paint is pretty much ready to go. I've just got to give it a good mix up to make sure all the pigment and all the shimmer and stuff is evenly distributed. So I started with a paintbrush and then went, I'm just going to use my palette knife. So I just found it easier because it was a stiffer product. So I'm going to start with the packaging technique. Now this paint was still quite thick when I used it, so I added a lot of water and I put it on some packaging. And you can see I've got a second piece of packaging there because there's too much there. If I had put all of that on my page, it would have just gone psycho and it would have gone everywhere and made a big mess. So I have started to smush that on, and then I just went, I'm not getting enough colour on the page, so I'm just going to grab my paintbrush, pick the colour up off the packaging and paint it on. So I'm going to do a mixture of painting and smushing, adding a bit of water here, a bit of paint there, until I'm happy with the result that I've got. Again, you can see I'm kind of roughly going around where those paint lines are, trying to stay mostly on the gesso. A little bit goes onto the craft cardstock, but it all just, yeah, I love the way that it turns out. It is another very, it's not that pink, but it is another pink layout. But that's okay. That's okay, because I like pink. So yeah, just adding the colour till I get it to a point that I like it. I love these products. They are so beautiful to work with. Absolutely gorgeous. Love them. So going in with some splatters. Now, if you leave this to dry naturally, it leaves a beautiful texture. It's like bumpy and it's so pretty. So just adding a few splatters. Now I put that aside to dry, and then I was suddenly inspired and I forgot to turn my camera on. So you can see I've got all the words scribbled in the background there. And I used a pen I got from Scrapbook Clearly. Hang on 2 seconds, I'll just grab it. If I can find it. Or not, I'm not 100% sure where I put it. Oh, here it is. There we go. It's a food ball pen. And I wanted to include a lot of the words that I had in that original layout. So I just like scribbled those on. I'd been watching a couple of Fiona Partridge's, I think, art journal pages, and she had used this beautiful handwriting that was scripty, that was not really readable, but it looked beautiful. So I was inspired to include those words, and that's how I decided to do it. I've also doodled on some hearts. Then on the bottom right hand side there, you can see I've added some gesso, and I'm going in with the same paint again. I wanted to put my title on that side, and I've picked out, I changed from the pink alphas to some that match the craft cardstock, and I think the tile is the craft colour, and then the letters are white. So I'm just adding a bit of colour to that bottom right hand side there for a little bit of embellishing and for my title to sit. As you can see, I'm just using my paintbrush, I'm smushing it around, I'm moving the page around, I use some paper towel, I use my heat tool, and I do apologise that a lot of that is off screen. Add a couple of splatters. I'm still trying to work out exactly where my phone needs to be to record and how far down my little space I've got, and yeah, so it is only like a little bottom bit of the page, but it's enough that you can't currently see what I'm doing, so I do apologise. Dried that off with my heat tool, and then I think I come straight into that area. Oh, I do a little bit of doodling in there too, this time just a few hearts, because it's going to house my title. I didn't want to put more words. So some gold thread there. You can't see what I'm doing, but I'm just winding that around my fingers, making a little nest for that flare badge. This flare badge has been sitting in my stash for a good 3 or 4 years. I absolutely love it, and I've been hoarding it, and I've tried it on a number of pages, and it's never been the right page, but I just went, I'm setting myself the goal, and I'm going to use it. So I used it with my little title cluster here. I'm really happy with how this little bit came together. I'm sticking on one of the bigger gold glitter hearts there. And then I come in with my title. I think I place the first letter and then I speed it up to like 10 times faster, because you don't need to sit there and watch me meticulously place every letter. I didn't stick these down with glue, but I have a funny feeling that at some point I'm going to have to go back and do that. So now is all the sticking. I did have a bit of a plan. I had some idea of where I wanted things to go. In fact, you'll see me kind of disappear and then come back, and I've actually taken a photo on a different phone of how I had it set up. But yeah, I'm just starting to add in some embellishing. So straight away I thought that those big partial circles would be good on the top and the bottom of the page. I end up using these 3 words. One says me, one says smile, and one says love. And because these are all bits and pieces of what I was wearing, essentially, and what I was carrying on my wedding day, I thought that they were all quite appropriate. I fussy cut 3 of those butterflies, and I do end up using the 3 of them in 3 different places on the page. Like I said, I'm really happy with how this page came together. Yeah, I really do like it. I kind of feel it's a lot like my last page, kind of, but that's okay. That's okay. I think that's because it's on the craft background again with the pink. But yeah, like I said, I do love it. The gold thread behind my flare was driving me absolutely crazy. I couldn't get it to stay where I wanted it, so I ended up chopping off the ends instead of having it long and loose. You can see here, I'm just sticking down my next little gold thread nest, and more adhesive because the stupid thing didn't want to stick. The struggle is real, people. The struggle is real. Scrapbooking dramas. And then, yeah, the 3rd little gold thread nest for my 3rd flare. Pretty sure that one says, hello, gorgeous, I think. I decided I wanted those white words to pop a little bit more. They're kind of totally blending into the background now. So I grabbed some darker pink thread. It's a little bit darker than the pink that I've got on the page, and I stick that behind my words, and it gives just enough contrast that you can actually see the words. And in real life you could see them quite clearly, which, you know, at the end of the day, that's where people are going to see my pages, but this just makes those words pop a little bit more without adding too much weight to the page. See, gold thread, annoying. It was so annoying, and like even the pink started to annoy me. And Missy, what's your trick? How do you make it just look so beautiful all the time? Please share. So yeah, I'm sorry I'm off camera. I'm just sticking that little word me down, and there's a little gold heart, and there's some thread behind it. I don't know if you noticed that, but that butterfly was missing the top left-hand side of its wing, so I just tucked him underneath. What am I doing? More thread. This one's going to go under the smile at the top. So all in all, I'm really, really, really happy with how this page came together. It's way more me than the other one was. I was just finding my feet in, well, I discovered I had feet at that point in scrapbooking, and I had no idea what my style was or how to scrap. You know, I think that's every beginner's dilemma. How do I scrapbook? But yeah, I'm much happier with this, and I think one of my favorite things about doing my wedding album is that I don't have to tell a story with every page, because it's all from the same day, and you know, piece by piece with the photo of all the bits and pieces I was wearing kind of sums it up. So yeah, is anyone else as far behind with their wedding scrapbook as me? Please share in the comments. I'd love to know. What am I doing? So I'm doodling a border around the edge here, just again with that same pen. It's beautiful to write on mixed media with. If you don't have one, you should definitely get one. I got mine from Scrapping Clearly. It's an awesome little pen. Just be aware it does take a little while for it to dry. You can dry it off with a heat tool. So this is almost the end of my layout. Oh, I learned something when I did this. So in that tray that's in my hand, that's some dried out gesso with water. I thought I'd give it a go and see if I could reactivate it. It doesn't work. So if you have extra black gesso that you've splattered, it will not reactivate if you add water. Just an FYI. So I've just put a tiny bit of black gesso in one of the little pools, added some water, grabbed a paintbrush, and I'm just going to add a few black splatters. That will call the page done when that's all done. And after I get a few drops on my photos, I remember to cover them up. So yeah, this is my entry for the Craft Plus for May. There are some close-ups coming up after this is all finished. I will give you a close-up in the video as well. As always, thank you ever so much for stopping by. I'm still a little bit in shock that I'm over 500 subscribers, so thank you ever so much for all of your support, all of your kind words. They are truly, genuinely appreciated. Welcome to all of my new subscribers, and if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. My life has been a bit hectic over the last couple of weeks, and I haven't got as much done as I had wanted to, but that's okay, because that's how it goes. So once again, thank you ever so much for stopping by. I will be back again very shortly with another page. Have a fantastic scrappy day. Bye.